So money.
Yeah,
Seeing what you've written here for money. I do remember reading it. You'd like to have more money.
yeah.
Many people would like to have more money.
Most of us do, yeah. I think my biggest thing is because I have an established business that I've been running for 5 years, and then I had this moment over the last 6 to 12 months where I fully withdrew from whatever I was doing and just felt like my wheels completely fell off and I'd lost direction about what I was doing with business and life and everything. It was like I'd burnt myself out. I just completely lost touch with everything. And so I really pulled back, and I think I scaled my business back at the same time. And now I'm basically back to zero. So I'm ticking over a tiny bit of money, but it's nothing compared to what I had. So it's almost like I've completely not threw my business in, but you know what I mean? I feel like I've failed it, I guess, when I went through that transition period in my life or whatever was happening for me. And now I've lost that stream of income, and I feel like I've got to start. I don't have to completely start again because it's ticking over a little bit, but I feel like I am back at square one and I need to rebuild that side of the business again because it's pretty non-existent at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And it is causing me a bit of stress about what to do next.
So first off, is this something that you really still want to do?
I've been asking myself that question too, and the short answer is yes, but not the way I have been doing it.
Okay. So is it fair to say that it was probably a blessing in disguise to do what you did? Because in 5 years, attitudes change.
Yes.
Your experience has grown.
Yeah.
And your perception of what you're capable of or what you would like to do next creatively could be very different now to what it was 5 years ago when you first started the business.
And it definitely is. The whole, I do my dream boards and my goals board, and I tore it down about 6 months ago and just ripped everything off it because it was so out of alignment with what I wanted. To start at the start, it was what I thought I wanted. So I felt like, what am I doing? Like I'm on this whole different path now. I've completely gone and done a 360 from what I originally wanted. And now I'm taking on this new path, which it's good. And I'm really excited for it. But at the same time, I'm now a bit scared and a bit uneasy about how I'm going to put that together. But I at least have a bit more clarity about what I want to do. So that's a start.
It's almost like, Peter, when you were just saying that, it's almost like you were disappointed in yourself for actually, what am I doing now? What am I doing? This isn't what I had planned 5 years ago. How dare I change my mind?
Yeah, it was a little bit like that. Yeah. Because
why is that though?
Well, I don't know. I think I've put so much, I've been trying to think of that myself. Why is that? And I think maybe I feel like I wasn't successful enough in that original plan. I didn't fulfill it to how I thought in my head I was going to be successful. With what we're learning now, I'm realising that, success has so many different definitions. And I think I was purely putting it based on how much money I can earn, which is totally out of alignment for me. And that's why I think everything went pear-shaped.
Okay, but to be fair on yourself, it may look that way now.
Yeah.
That what you were doing back then was out of alignment to you now.
Yeah.
But back then you didn't know these new things about yourself. Back then you had a vision, you had an intention, and that's what you built your business upon.
Yeah.
It's totally okay to change that halfway through. And in fact, it's a good thing. It's a great thing because now, as you just said, you have more clarity. You know a lot more clearly where you want to take your business. So the last 5 years of what you started your business on wasn't for nothing.
No.
I'd like to know what you learnt about yourself in the last 5 years of business.
Well, I've learnt that I can push myself out of my comfort zone because it's something that I really hate. I don't think anybody likes doing it, but I'm quite not shy, but I'm a little bit reserved, I think, in some ways, where I have these big ideas, but I do let fear kind of stop me. And I'm a little bit of a quieter type of person as well. I'm not the extrovert and out there and big kind of salesy type of person. And I thought, how am I meant to start a skincare brand, which I know I'm going to have to get out there and sell, with all that fear that I have about being in the face of the brand and actually getting out there in front of people and believing in my product and selling it to people. And I mean, that's something that I did. I just thought, well, I'd rather give it a try and find out and see how it goes and where it takes me, rather than sit back and think in 10 years time, I wonder, if I'd followed through with that idea that I had to start that business, whether it would have been good or whether I would have been successful in it, or do you know what I mean? So yeah, it was just me going, you're going to do it, because I don't like living with regret. So yeah.
Seeing you relay that for me,
Yeah.
you started having a smile on your face even wider the more you realized what you'd actually accomplished.
Yeah.
Even though it was scary, you put yourself out there. You didn't know how you were going to do it, but you still did it. So am I sensing that there's a bit of pride there as well?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm proud of what I've done. I think I'm feeling not as great about myself now that I've not failed the business. It's just this transition period. It's hard to explain. It's hard to put into words. I feel probably still a little bit lost, I suppose. I don't know. It's just, it's like it started off great, and maybe it was my passion, I think, too. I would wake up every morning and just be ready to jump in there and tackle the day, and I was so enthusiastic about what I was doing, and I loved every second of it. I didn't care how many hours I worked. I just was go, 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 go. I just loved what I was doing. But yeah, that all changed 12 months ago. And so, yeah, that's where I lost that drive, and I thought, what the hell's going on? What's wrong with me? Yeah.
Well, two things that I want to note here. First off, at the very beginning of what you just said, you were saying, yes, I am proud of myself, but...
Yeah.
And then you listed all the reasons back to the now,
yeah,
why you're not so happy about how things currently are. So I think it's important to actually acknowledge what you've already achieved.
Yeah.
Because you've just told me you started a brand from nothing.
Yeah.
You did all these amazing things, getting it out there and making it a success, until the point came where you lost your drive. So that brings me to the second point. If something changed 12 months ago and you lost your drive, isn't that a good thing in the grand scheme of things? Because if you were going to force yourself to continue to do something that you no longer loved in the way you were doing it, then that's not going to serve you. And that's not going to translate into your service of other people. So what's the clarity that you've come to recently, particularly going through this course, doing your own self-work in the last 12 months? What's the clarity that you've come to? What's your passion now?
My passion now is I want to help people take care of themselves, because it's something that I didn't do in starting my business and raising a family. I neglected myself completely. So all I did was focus on work and pushing and, striving to get this business off the ground. And somewhere in that snowball, I was there for my family, but my work took over. So everything, my thoughts, my weekends, everything just became work. And there was no time for anything else in between. I was flat out trying to go for a walk sometimes, because I'm just like, no, I can't do that. I've just got too many things to do. I'm too busy. And then I think I know there's only so long you can do that for. And your body's just going to go, you can't going like this. And
But,
obviously family and everything too, you know, it's a snowball effect.
mm.
That's
So
why.
what I'm picking up there is that you learnt how to take care of business,
Yeah.
but you forgot to take care of you.
Yeah.
Which was kind of the reason why you started your business, was to encourage women to take care of themselves.
Yes.
Yeah. So how did that make you feel?
It was like a big, I don't know the words for it, but yeah, I remember thinking to myself, yeah, I started a skincare business with the intention of wanting just to help people feel good about themselves. And then all of a sudden I find myself, you know, a few years down the track doing the complete opposite of what I'm trying to promote. And it was just like this big smack in the face, like realization of you've gone completely off track of what you started doing. But at the same time, I look back and I am grateful that I did what I did, because I wouldn't have learnt the lessons that I have now. And I've learnt to pull back and give myself time and actually put myself first, and spend time, quality time with my family, and not always be rushing all the time. And because I couldn't even sit down and have a cup of tea without racing. Like my mind would just be racing and my heart would be racing. I was in this constant anxiety and how they say fight and flight mode. I was always in that constant state of can't relax, got to keep going. I think my body just didn't know how to switch off. So I think that was part of my big downfall, or my realization, I think, when everything just went, no more, not going to keep going like this. So yeah, but now it's a good thing, because I'm really passionate about wanting to help women not do the same thing.
Yeah. Do you think that's actually made you a bit more authentic in your business, to really truly understand what it's like to lose yourself to something or someone else?
Yes, definitely. And that I didn't actually think about that. I had quite a hard time being honest with people about what was really going on. I don't know why. I felt maybe that you get some people looking at you thinking that you've got it all together, and you seriously don't. And when I actually found the courage to actually speak up and tell people I wasn't actually going that great, and I had done a lot of, I burnt myself out, and I'd done all these things that I just, if I could do it again, I would have done differently. But I've only just started opening up about that recently, actually out to my business now. So I put a little video on Facebook and everything, just letting people know what was going on. And the response was huge, like bigger than anything that I'd ever done before, just because I was raw and authentic, and probably touching other people, people that maybe were going through similar things, or just thought, oh, she's actually a normal, real person. She doesn't have it all together, but we're only human. We have to, deal with these things.
So in a funny way, going through what you went through and having it all go pear-shaped, as you said earlier, and now coming to this realization of greater clarity and this place of, I know I need to take care of myself.
Yeah.
That's actually allowed you to be more of you.
Yes.
Just as you are.
Yeah.
And share that with the people who are most likely to resonate with you, to want to take care of themselves as well, which really becomes your ideal marketing, your ideal customer, who can now relate to you, because you're dropping the veil and being yourself. So how has that changed you in respect to money?
Well, at the moment, money is definitely not my be all and end all, but I feel like, because I'm doing a little bit of work around money stuff as well at the moment, because I've got these massive big dreams for myself and I want to make money, and I always felt like making money, not a bad thing, but I don't know, I just felt like I couldn't make a lot of money. I don't know why. I just felt like it wasn't for me to make a lot of money.
Okay, can I just challenge you there?
Yeah.
Can I challenge you and ask you, why can't you make a lot of money?
Yeah, well, this is the thing. I know I can.
You proved it.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, in my business, it was, you know, and I was turning over a good amount of money, and it actually scared me. And so a fear, obviously, you know, came up for that. And it looked like for the next year, then that was going to double if I kept going the way I was going. And it scared the shit out of me. And I don't know why, because it was something that I really wanted. And then, and I've gone backwards. I've gone the complete opposite way now. So I've gone back to making not much at all.
Okay. So if you had to just consider for a moment the kind of money that you were making that was expected to double in the following year, if you can just for a moment, maybe just put your hands on the desk in front of you, just to remember that right now in this moment you're safe and this is just a memory. Okay. So I just want you, close your eyes if you feel like you'd like to. Just take a nice deep breath into your belly. Exhale, relax your shoulders, your jaw, your chest. And just imagine that figure that you were making in your mind. And then I want you to imagine it doubling. So if this was going to be the kind of year that you were going to have after that, if you kept pushing yourself and you were going to make that income double, where do you feel it in your body when the fear starts coming?
My chest.
Your chest. Okay. And does it have a sound or a color attached to it? Does it have a shape attached to it? Or does it just have a couple of statements attached to it?
All I always just get tight in the chest, and it's like, I can't handle that.
Okay. So let's just focus on this point in your chest and take a deep breath into your chest. Okay. All right. So just recalling that figure that made you feel afraid when money is something that you wanted. Yeah?
Yeah.
What is it that you're afraid of about making that kind of money, the amount that was doubled? What are some beliefs you have about money?
Well, for starters, I knew I wasn't going to be able to handle the workload it was going to take to make that sort of money on my own.
Yeah. The benefit of making more money is that you get to pay people to help you.
Yes. And I think that was one part of it. I didn't know how I was going to expand I don't know if I wanted to expand my team, or it's just been me, so it's hard. It's kind of scary.
Yeah, it's scary. It's scary to put yourself out there. It's scary to run a successful business because sometimes it's about success as well. Was money back at that time when you started your business and you were getting successful and you were starting to really increase this income, was the money related to your beliefs about success?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what are we talking about here? What's coming up for you?
Well, I always attribute success to the amount of money that you can make.
Ah, okay.
It's silly, I know, but that's just been a belief of mine.
That's okay. That doesn't make it silly.
Yeah, you're not successful until you make a certain amount of money.
Okay, well, just on that point, while you've got your eyes closed and you're breathing and just relaxing and remembering that in this moment, you are filled with new experience. You're filled with a different idea of success. So what now is your idea of success? What does success mean to you now in running a successful business?
Yeah, success for me now is being able to run my business, a business that works for me, doesn't run me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a business that I'm passionate about, that provides emotional, spiritual, and financial support to me and my family.
Mm-hmm.
It gives me flexibility and, you know, just the time for myself, time for my family, and time for my business without stretching me so much and just causing me so much anxiety.
Yeah.
That's what success is to me now. And being able to, just being able to have money in the bank that, you know, that I'm not having to worry all the time.
Okay. So what does this look like? What does your business look like as this kind of success? What does it look and feel like? How do you see yourself running this kind of business that suits you? Are you on your own? Do you have some help? Are you working part-time? Are you working full-time? What does it look like, Peter?
It's mainly just me with a little bit of help when I need it.
Yep.
And it's predominantly online focused business, and it's Monday to Friday, and it's a few hours each day, so that I've got the time either side to, you know, be there for my kids, self-care for myself, and still be able to run a household and do all those things without feeling stressed and stretching myself.
Okay. So when you imagine that kind of success, and your business looking like that, how does that feel?
I feel really relaxed about it.
Yeah. How does that feel in your chest?
Feels good. Like I have nothing in my chest.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So if I was to ask you, is there a figure attached to this kind of business success?
Yeah.
Is there anything coming up for you? What feels comfortable?
250,000 a year.
Yeah.
I don't know where that's come from. That's just in my head.
No, that's not just in your head. That's actually coming from your inner wisdom.
Yeah, I don't know where it's coming from.
So what we've got to remember here is that you have had a successful business in the past that was based on this kind of service for people, and you reached a level of success with that already. So anybody watching this coaching conversation isn't going to know what figure it was previously that scared you, or what figure it was previously that you were comfortably making. So 250,000 might seem a lot. It might not seem a lot to some people. That's very, very subjective. Yeah. But for you, knowing that you've already been in a situation where you've been making a lot of money, if that feels comfortable to you now, how does your chest feel in response to thinking about that figure with that vision of your successful business?
It's really good. Like happy with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Comfortable.
Okay, so there's no fear?
No, there's no fear there. It's like this is where I'm meant to be at. Where I'm meant to be.
Yeah. Okay, so you can open your eyes now if you'd like to. Okay, so from this point, what do you think you need to do? What's the ultimate transition that you'd like to go through from the old way of doing business that didn't work for you, that wasn't serving you to help serve your customers the best that you could? What would be the logical next step to help you move through that transition?
The logical next step. I know I need to, I've still got the old way of doing things looming around me. So I know that I need to deal with that first. It's okay. As in, just moving these products out that are just sitting on my shelf. That's a start. Like clearing out, it's like clearing out the old to make way for new.
Okay. So is there kind of a way that you know how to engage people now who would be needing these products so that you could maybe help them move off the shelves? What's some strategies that you have? You're a businesswoman.
I know. My big business strategy was to just half price discount the whole line that I've got left and move it to the people that already use it and love it. Because part of me is still keeping a small core range of the products. So because it is still part of that self-care that I really love, and I love the products that I created. So I wanted to keep a very small core range. And so part of me was whether it was, and I do try and talk to my inner self a lot. And I'm like, what am I meant to do here? How am I meant to get this money in the door that I need in order to, transition to this next phase of what I want to do? And I did just keep getting sell it out, what I've got on the shelves. So I figured big sale, get people to buy up and have some cash sitting there to then inject into this new way of doing things.
Okay. So the new way of doing things, is it solely dependent on money?
No. So the new way of doing things, which has come through doing this course, even though we've only been doing it such a short time, it's because before I started the course, I was in this, I know I want to do something different. I have no idea what it is and no idea how I'm going to do it. And I just thought doing this course will actually help me work through the issues that I need to work through, but also hopefully will help give me some clarity. And because this is an area that I'm quite drawn to, like holistic life coaching and other, spiritual things, I thought, well, this is a good chance for me to see if this does light me up, if this is really something that I'd want to do. And so far, from the start, it started sparking something in me. And it was only just the other day that I realised I wanted to become a self-care coach. I don't know how I'm going to put that, but basically, helping women look after themselves and not to look after themselves, isn't selfish. You don't have to feel guilty about it, because it's all the things that I felt too. And I know, that's stems from my mum. I watched my mum do the exact same thing. She just worked. She never looked after herself. She was always the last person that she looked after. And that, didn't get her very far, because she had breast cancer and bowel cancer last year. So, and I think maybe that was a catalyst for me almost going, stop, you're following your mother's footsteps, basically. Stop what you're doing and change it now before, it gets any further. So that was part of my big, not a bit of an aha moment, I guess, but it was a bit of a smack, like stop what you're doing and pay attention. So part of me moving, I got a bit off track then, but part of me moving on that doesn't cost money is being able to do, I'd love to do some little online, just short courses for people about taking charge of their lives and putting more self-care into their lives, and doing some video blogs and things that are going to just help people, connect with themselves again, basically. So I know through doing that, it will help touch a lot more people. And then I've got the physical products that they can buy, as you know, it's like a complementary thing to what I'll be doing. I'm still trying to piece it all together. But, you know, I've got at least I've got a bit of a picture now, whereas beforehand it was a bit like I know I want to change what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, but I was really in the dark about how I was going to do that. And even, you know, maybe doing some little workshops in school hours here with the mums, even starting with the local mums. And there's a lot of women I speak to, they're like, oh my God, I don't know how to not rush around like a headless chook all day, and I'm always, you know, stress. So yeah, I thought that would be definitely something that we could all utilize.
Yeah. It sounds like that would speak directly to the kind of people that would derive value from your service.
Mm.
Yeah. So have you done anything about writing these fabulous ideas down?
I have been. I've got a bit of a journal happening. I've got about 3 journals, I think. All these ideas come out and I just write things down and, you know, print things off as I, you know, see them. Could be little helpful little wisdom sheets that I can put together in the future. And yeah, I'm in that phase where I'm just piecing things, writing them down and working out how I will put it all together. But
well, it sounds like to me that you've been through your own personal journey of really truly understanding the value of self-care, and that no, it's not selfish, it's absolutely necessary, particularly for the modern woman, which seems to be the kind of person that you'd like to work with. So even if you spend a little bit of time writing down all of the lessons and things that you've learned about yourself and the importance of self-care, and maybe all the bits and pieces that constitute self-care for you that may be applicable to your client base, then that might be the beginning of a new product, which might be an ebook or a little manifesto or anything that you would like to start to put together to at least take action. Because it's great that you've got journals, it's great that you're noting down your ideas and you're letting that creativity flow now that there's more clarity. Yeah. And you'll probably find that after we've spoken today, when the fear of how much money you feel comfortable making now, that you also still feel a success at making, that you might start to get even clearer on where you want to go with that. Yeah. So what do you think's the first thing that you could do? What do you feel comfortable with that you're willing to commit to doing in this next week that won't just be extra ideas to write down, that will be actually taking a step forward? So whether that is putting your products on sale, letting everybody know about it, or whether it is starting to put down a bit of your knowledge about self-care now and starting to put a new product or a course together. Yeah. What would feel most comfortable to you that would be a forward movement for you?
Well, definitely the products. So I need to get them moving, because every day that I haven't done anything about it, it's just like this uneasiness. I think I'm just frustrating myself because I'm like, just do something about it. Start moving them, get some money in the door, you know, get motion, just get momentum happening. Because at the moment it's very stagnant and it's really frustrating me. But I'm not taking action. So that's definitely the first thing I need to do.
So what stops you from taking action, or what has been stopping you from taking action to get those products cleared out when that's clearly what you want to do?
Yeah, I've just been totally procrastinating, and I've been studying, and I've been doing all these other things studying is not taking up all my time either. But I've taken on a lot of things all at once, which is typical me. I can't just do one thing. I have to do 5 things at once. And so I get myself flustered. Sorry?
Do you finish them all when you take on lots of things at once?
Eventually, because okay. I don't like not finishing things. And that's where I get really cranky with myself, because I'm like, no, you have to finish that. So, okay. Part of what I'm learning for myself too is just concentrate on one thing at a time. And not, so I don't overwhelm myself, and I don't get in this fluster, and and do things half-heartedly as well, because that's what ends up happening too.
We've got to remember the brain can only take in so much information. So you know now that the brain only has 5% conscious control. So that's only a very small window of opportunity for us to consciously focus on what we're doing. If we try and change too many things at once, it's way too overwhelming for the brain. And so it gets too much, can't cope, overwhelmed, frustrated, not going to do it.
Yeah.
And that's what contributes to procrastination. So I have a question for you with removing the products, because that's your procrastination there. You know that you need to move the products. You've mentioned it several times, and that's something that you want and need to do to be able to move forward in some areas.
Yeah.
Not all, but some.
Yeah.
So what does moving the products off the shelves represent to you in clearing out the old way of doing business?
It means that I can just let go of that now. Like it's almost like I can cut my ties there and let it go, and then and bring in this new this new way of me wanting to do things. It's almost like cutting that tie off completely for it now. Because I just sit there and look at them and get frustrated.
So interesting though that if they cause you frustration, you know you need to clear them, and it represents, starting fresh, getting rid of it, cutting ties, but yet you haven't done it.
No.
So what is it that's not letting you let it go? Was it that fear? The fear that you spoke of earlier in our conversation, the fear of, that's how I ran my business. I had success with that, but now I've kind of got to start again. Is there a fear there that if you do get rid of that and it's closing that chapter, which is all very well and good, and you have a new perspective of it now, was there, because it may not still be there right now, and then again it might be. So what is the fear that won't let you let go of that way of doing business?
That's what I've been trying to work out myself too. I think it's a couple of different things. It's obviously, it's what I've known. So yeah, there is that scariness of how am I going to do it from now on. But it's people pleasing. I don't want to, I've had all these clients or customers, and I don't want. I've got over the fact that I'm not going to win over everybody with what I'm going to do, and I'm probably going to disappoint some people. But I think there is part of me, because I really hate disappointing people, and I really, I just want to make everybody happy. So there is probably that part of me that's hanging on to that still.
Is it your job to make everybody happy?
No, I know it's not. But it's, and that's definitely something that I've learned, myself through what I've worked on the past few months. And I guess I still just haven't implemented a lot of those last little things that I know I need to do. Haven't taken action on it. So, I don't know what it is. It's just time to do it.
Okay. So, look, there could be a fear of being a failure.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, my business isn't, it's not the same. I couldn't sustain it like that. So, I don't have the chops for it, or whatever it might be. But as we've discussed in our call, there's a different way to view that now.
Yeah.
Because look what it gave you. It gave you the ability to actually show up on your Facebook page and do a very raw, a raw video that had quite a huge response. So the other thing is that it could be a fear of the unknown. What am I going to do now? Which is why it's really important to clarify what success and what money mean to you now.
Yeah.
And what you want to actually achieve in your business, so that you feel comfortable about the kind of success and money that you would like to achieve in your business.
Yeah.
But doing it in a different way that serves you and serves your customers in a much more proactive and healthy way. So what is one action that you are willing to commit to this week in regards to getting rid of that product?
I'm going to get on MailChimp.
You're going to, or you?
I will.
Are you ready? Are you ready to let it go?
I'm totally ready. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's frustrated me that much now that I've just, it's a 10. Like it's got to happen. Yeah. Totally.
Okay.
So I will jump on MailChimp, and I'll be doing an email newsletter out, letting people know that, yeah, we're clearing out all the old stuff that's sitting. I'm not going to say it in those words, but I'm clearing out. So ready to make way for the new rustic hide era.
Yeah, that's a great way to actually get interest from your current clients, is to let them know there's some exciting stuff happening here at Rustic Hide, and we're going to be adding a couple of new products and a new service that is specifically going to be based on your self-care, not just with using our gorgeous products, but also in taking the best care of you. So that way it's helping your customers transition with you to here, grab a bargain, but the reason we're getting rid of it is, or not getting rid of it, but the reason we're moving it onward is so that we can transition into a whole new way of doing business for you, a whole new way of serving you. And you can allude to the kind of things that you want to do. You know why? Because that's actually going to help hold you accountable as well.
Yes.
By affirming it and putting it out there, you're letting your customers know, wow, there's some exciting changes happening here. And that's going to help to spur you on to commit to seeing it through, not only for them, but for you.
Yeah.
Now that you feel comfortable with what your definition of success is and what your figure of money is to feel comfortable with about being a success.
Yeah. No, that sounds perfect, actually. That sits really well with me. Like, it feels good. Yeah, it feels like the right step. So that's, yeah, definitely what I'll be doing. For sure.
Awesome. Great. So how do you feel after this coaching call, having a bit of an experience of what it's like to be coached?
It's good. It's it just makes you get real with yourself. You can sit there and think all this in your head, but when you actually sit there and talk it out with somebody else and have them, listening and firing back the right types of questions, it makes you just, stop and really view things better. Yeah.
It helps to interrupt the internal dialogue. Because number one, you get to hear yourself saying these things out loud that you've been going over and over in your head. Yeah. And secondly, it helps you to actually hear it back to you from a different perspective by having the question, why is that the case for you? Or what is it about that feeling or emotion? Or what is it about that task that you're procrastinating on? So it just helps you to really start to raise your self-awareness, number one, because self-awareness in a coaching relationship is absolutely important. And secondly, it helps to expand your perspective. So instead of seeing things the way that you've always been seeing them and having that dialogue of, how am I supposed to do this and that doesn't feel right, whatever that may be, it helps to actually shift you away from that and look at things from a different perspective. Yes, maybe, you were successful in the first 5 years and you've come to a transition and you're sort of not sure where to go from now initially, but what's the benefit of going through that? You now thoroughly understand your customer base. You get it. You've been to the point of, yep, I thought I had the success that I originally set out to achieve. I achieved it, but I realized it didn't actually bring me the happiness or the fulfillment that I was after because it no longer aligns with who I am and what I want for myself. And that's a wonderful realization or wake-up call to have, because it means that you now have 5 years of experience running a business to know what you don't want to do anymore. And it's okay to focus on what not to do for long enough so that you can switch your perspective to, great, now that I know what not to do or what I don't want to do anymore, what do I want to do? What are my options now? How can I really start to make these positive changes in my business and in my life so that I can move in the direction I want using my experience from the past. That's a great way to help you move through the transition a little bit better.
Yeah, definitely. No, this has been awesome. Yeah, I should have did this a long time ago. No, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, and it's been good for me too, because I was in this little bit of doubt about how am I going to be a coach? It's something that's so strange. Not strange, but I guess I haven't experienced it at all, really. And so it's nice to have been through a session myself and to get that first-hand experience from this side as well. You know, not being the coach, being the client. And it's giving me really good, I feel a little bit more confident, I guess, about taking on those coaching clients.
You know, just a suggestion here, Peter. Yeah. Since you are planning on offering self-care coaching, what you could do as a nice little way to say goodbye to the old way of doing business as Rustic Hide, and you could offer a little special to 3 of your customers who maybe could enter a competition to win a 30 or 45-minute coaching session with you as self-care coaching. And what you could do, as we spoke about earlier, in writing down the self-care practices that have helped you, that have worked for you, and incorporating not just the skincare, but also the sleep and the other aspects that you've discovered for yourself, and bundling that up to offer in that session.
That is really good. I think that sounds awesome. Yeah.
Does that, knowing that you've got choices now, knowing that you've got a fresh start to really create your business in the way that does align with who you are now, how does that feel?
It's amazing. It feels amazing, because I was really, I felt so stuck in how I was doing things, and it was hard. Like it was like everything just felt hard, and I'm like, it's not meant to feel like, I knew it wasn't meant to feel like that. But I just didn't know how else I was going to do it. So yeah, to have so many different options now, and just know you can basically take the reins and be as creative as you want, really, about how you can offer these things to people. It's awesome. It just blows my mind. Yeah, but it's good, because I don't feel like I'm kind of trapped anymore in just one way. So it's good.
Fantastic. Excellent. Well, I'm so pleased that you've got some value from having this coaching conversation, so that you've had the experience of what it's like to be coached, and that we can create a video to go into our training vault to help all the other students and future students coming in to have that visual of what does it look like to have a coaching conversation. So thank you so much for being courageous to share your personal situation, so that it can be for the benefit of the other students. I really appreciate that.
No, thank you too for offering this. It was definitely needed for me, so I think hopefully it can help everybody else as well. Yeah, thank you.